Surprisingly, very few people know about the 1960s pop culture rumor that Paul McCartney had allegedly died via decapitation in an auto accident on Wednesday, February 9, 1966, and that the surviving Beatles had orchestrated a cover-up. So the story goes, instead of reporting his death, they decided to keep the band going by hiring a William Campbell, winner of a Paul McCartney lookalike contest, to take his place. These conspiracy theorists would like us to believe that the Beatles trained this Mr. Campbell, teaching him McCartney's vocal parts and bass riffs, while going on to record dozens more hit songs before ultimately breaking up in 1970. But the strangest part of the rumor? Not only did the Beatles hide Paul's death, they supposedly planted clues on their songs, with William Campbell singing about Paul in the first person, and John singing about Paul in the past tense.
Well, here's another clue for you all. The walrus was Paul.
And listen to these bizarre messages from the White Album, heard when playing the song backwards. These rumor mongers go on to suggest that the Beatles also planted clues on their album covers, such as Sgt. Pepper's, where a little girl appears to be staring at a burning car. On Abbey Road, George is dressed as a gravedigger. William Campbell, representing Paul, is barefoot, as corpses are typically buried. Ringo is dressed as an undertaker, John as a minister. Meanwhile, the license plate on a nearby VW Bug informs us that Paul would have been 28 if he had lived. On the back of the Sgt. Pepper album, George very clearly points to a specific lyric, Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock, the supposed time of Paul's auto accident. Last but not least, the strongest and eeriest pieces of quote-unquote evidence are the direct references in songs to head injuries suffered by Paul in an auto accident. Take a listen.
I was alone, I took a ride, I didn't know what I would find there. You were in a car crash, and you lost your hair. He blew his mind out in a car. He didn't notice that the lights had changed. A crowd of people stood and stared. They'd seen his face before. Nobody was really sure if he was from the House of
So, did the Beatles really plant clues alluding to Paul's death? The only people who know for sure are the Beatles and William Campbell, but we don't think so. The clues may seem at times to be more than eerie coincidences, but that's probably all they are, eerie coincidences. However, after months of researching the subject, we did uncover the unfortunate truth that in 1966, Paul McCartney did in fact die in that car accident. And as for William Campbell, he died of a cocaine overdose in 1977 while on tour with his band Wings.
I never could be